Yo, what's up guys? Welcome back to Sobriety University. Got a brand new camera today, so we're gonna try it out, and we got some new mics as well. Today's topic is gonna be how to stop feeling regret about all the years you spent smoking marijuana. This comes up a lot with people I consult, and it's one of the hardest things I think to get through when you're quitting marijuana is when that regret comes up. Like, oh man, like I've wasted so much time smoking weed. Like what a waste. And I totally understand this, man. Like, even though I quit when I was 22, so I was quite young, I still had a lot of regret for the years I spent smoking. And I was like, all the things I could have done, the relationships I could have had, the financial, the money I could have saved. I spent so much money smoking weed. I'm sure you guys can relate. And it was quite disappointing. And so the answer to this is you have to just feel it. You have to accept it and move on. Now, how do you do that? Because you remember, okay, cool. That's a very basic answer. So really, when you're quitting marijuana, you're going through that process, that regret is going to come up. And the most important thing you can do is feel it. What a lot of people do is they try to avoid it. They try to numb it by continuing to smoke weed or doing other things and escaping through television or what have you, maybe a relationship. But as you quit, as you start to feel some happiness from quitting marijuana, you'll start to accept it a little more. You'll be like, all right, you know what? Even though I wish I could have this time back, I would prefer to have not smoked weed for as long as I did. You'll have moments of clarity where you're like, you know what? It's going to be okay. I'm doing the right things now. I'm taking care of myself now. I have a future ahead of me now. There's hope. There's hope. And a lot of times, it can feel quite hopeless. So once you get those feelings of hope that come back in and kind of optimism, encouragement, you're like, all right, maybe this isn't going to be as bad as I think. You realize too that, I can't do anything about it. The past is the past. All I can focus on is today and what I can do to improve my life now. And in doing that, it can be painful at first to start to do, but over time, it's really gonna offer you some freedom and some clarity into your life and being like, okay, I can move forward. I can have a life. I can have relationships. I can do all the things I still want to do. It's going to be just a different timeline, right? So when you start to get down the line too, after a few months, even into the years of not being on marijuana, you'll start to have some wins in life. Life will start to take off, and weed will really become like just a distant memory. You won't even think about weed anymore. The memories, the thoughts, they'll just go away. They'll be like a weird dream, right? When I look back at the times I smoked, it feels like an old movie that I can't really remember the details to because it was just fuzzy. It's just so long ago. And now I'm in a completely different space in life, and I'm having successes, I'm having wins, I'm having things that are keeping me going and keeping me sober, getting to help other people, having a lot of fun too with a lot of different things. So you start to not regret it anymore and become grateful for the experience because it got you to where you are today. If you're really starting off in quitting right now, you might not be able to relate to this. You might be like, oh, that sounds so great, but I don't think I'll ever get there. You will if you stick with it and ultimately going through the process of learning to stay sober. It is a process to quit. It doesn't just happen. There's going to be ups and there's going to be downs, and you might relapse for a little bit and then eventually before you get your groove. But if you continue on it and you continue on this path of sobriety, you will get to a point where you're like, okay, life is good. Life is actually good. And had I not gone through the smoking I did and gone through all that stuff, I wouldn't be where I am today. So guys, may this motivate you and encourage you to stick with it and give it your best shot so you can have a life without regret, so that regret goes away, and then ultimately where you can be at a place where you're grateful for the experiences you've gone through. So with that, if you guys do need some help overcoming this regret, schedule a consult with me down below. Other than that, we'll talk to you soon. Peace.